Once you're underground, everything down there is trying to get you. The electricity, it's real high voltage. All the pressures in all those chocks and everything is extra high pressure. It's higher than anything that's up here. And then you got all the dust and diesel and the roof's trying to fall in. The gas has got you. Like,
so why do it?
Just fun.
Welcome to the Beers with a Miner podcast, episode 32. This week is a happy hour episode where I sit down for a relaxed chat, usually over a few beers, with a fellow miner. Today I'm chatting with two underground miners, Sean and Shifty. Welcome, Sean and Shifty, to the podcast.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. The first question, since the podcast is called Beers with a Miner, is what is your favourite beverage? It could be a beer, wine, spirit, or perhaps even a cup of tea. And what is your favourite place to drink it? Now, before we answer that question, we're just going to have to... We all rah-rah and talk over each other all the time. So we're going to try and be mindful of that. Aren't we, boys?
we will.
We will.
Oh,
You're up.
Okay. Well, I prefer Scotch. Anyway.
Scotch, anyway, you're easy, Shifty.
I'm easy, cheap too.
Yeah. So do you have it as a mixer or in a glass?
I'll have it straight, mixed, with water, with ice. Anyway.
Nice. Oh, so you're not fussy.
Well, if it's good Scotch, I'll have it with more good Scotch.
Oh, righto. So are you a bit of a Scotch connoisseur?
Oh, yeah, I don't mind.
What's your favourite one?
Oh, I just love me Glenfiddich.
Glenfiddich?
Glenfiddich.
Oh, Glenfiddich. Yeah. Oh, nice. And what about you, Sean? What's your favourite bev?
Generally beer.
Beer?
Yeah, I'll drink pretty much anything but beer.
Yep. What sort of beer?
Back in NZ, I would drink Spates.
Spades.
Spates.
Yeah. Is that S-P-A-T?
S-P-E-I-G-H-T-S.
Oh, all right, Spades. Yeah. Did you know that shit?
No, I didn't.
Over here, I'll pretty much just mix them up, whatever I feel like at the time.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't really have any particular preference. I just happen to grab what's in the fridge.
What's have you got to buy? What's in the fridge, Bob?
Oh, I don't know. Sometimes I'll buy them, sometimes I don't, you know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
They're the best sort of beer, the ones you don't have to buy.
Yeah, if I can steal them off my son, I'll grab them.
Oh, yeah. So what's the beer you're drinking now?
What is this? This is James Squire, this one.
James
Squire.
Yeah. Ooh, sounds posh. Well, I'm having for its gold because that's how I roll. And Shifty is...
Dry.
No. So you don't drink when you're out at work?
Try not to now.
Mm-hmm.
We were real bad there when I was underground. We used to drink all the time.
Yeah, right.
Our crew was a party crew.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we were always in trouble.
You
First on a 2-year good behaviour bond.
A 2-year
2-year
good behaviour?
Yeah.
Shifty.
Half our crew was.
Oh, dear. That's dangerous.
It was, but then...
Those were the days back then.
Yeah. Times change, don't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they clamped down on it pretty big.
Yeah. Lessons learned to get away with things before.
Well, we got
things
away
get
with a
too
lot
bad.
of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I was underground there for 10 years and
Yeah.
we did it all the time, eh?
So how did you get into mining? Shifty?
I was at a New Year's Eve party.
Mm-hmm.
And a bloke sitting down the end of the table was sitting there saying how they can't get fitters to go underground.
Oh, right. And were you a fitter at the time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a fitter at the mill. I've been there for 20 years.
Yep.
I was sitting at this party and he said they can't get fitters. And I said, bullshit. You know, like every application you put in, you never even hear back from them. So he said, give me a resume tomorrow and I'll put it in. I said, yeah, fair enough. So I did. And he ended up getting me on with a contract mob. And then I was with the contract mob for 3 months and then they were hiring people out there. So bang, straight in.
Oh, right. With a shirt?
Yeah, it worked out pretty good.
So I've never been underground, right?
Yep.
So I'm going to pick your brains because my listeners know that my partner is a real miner underground, which we will go into as they both laugh hysterically. But I've never been underground, so I want to share with the listeners a little bit about that. So how did you feel the first time you went down there? Were you crapping yourself or?
Yeah, well, I didn't know. I had to throw in a permanent job at a sugar mill.
Yeah. Oh, it was a sugar mill, not...
Yeah, to come out here, paid for all me boots, all me clothes, did all me inductions and all that, paid for all that. So I was up like $1,200 or something.
Oh, so you had to pay for it because you were going with a contractor. Yeah.
Then come under, not knowing if I'd be able to go underground or not. And I was shitting myself the first time because you're driving down and then it was nothing. Didn't worry me.
Really?
But I swore I was never going to go underground.
Why did you think that?
I just didn't like the idea of going underground. But then, it didn't worry me and just kept on doing it.
Because you might not get out.
No, I never even worried about that.
Yeah. And what about you, Sean? How did you get into the mining side?
I was at the pub and...
So you were at a New Year's Eve party and you were at a pub.
I was still drunk.
See, people get out. Start talking.
And guy was there. He was asking me, we were just chatting, and he just asked what I was doing at the minute. And I'd just finished up working in the Middle East, and I said, I just don't know what I'm doing at the minute. And he said, well, some clean skin jobs out at the underground. Would you be interested in putting your name in? I said, I'll think about it. And he goes, well, here's a phone number, give the bloke a ring. So I gave him a ring and must have talked to him for maybe 30 seconds of that. And he pretty much just, to me, it sounded like he didn't really want anything to do with me.
Oh, right.
And he just said, yeah, whatever, just send your resume in to one of my HR people and we might get back to you. So next day, sent my resume in at 10:30 in the morning, and 5 o'clock that night I got a ring, asked if I wanted to come up for an interview, and that's pretty much when my mining career started.
Yeah. So you obviously passed the interview, and
I think I was a novelty.
Why?
Well, I think I'm pretty much the only person ever to turn up to an underground operator's interview wearing a suit and tie.
Did you?
Well, see, I rang him up at the time because
I nearly spat my beer out there.
I would have liked to see that.
Yeah.
Well, from the previous job that I had and coming from the army before that, when I rang them up and I said, well, I know this is a mining job. What do you what do I need to come dressed, for the interview? And they said, just come what you normally come in for an interview. So, I mean, I'd been in, when I was private contracting overseas, later on in a few of the jobs, it was managerial. So, that was what I did.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's I was always told you dress for success, and its first impressions. Well, obviously, I think I might have just shocked them just a touch.
Okay,
and they just give me a job
this
because
guy go so we can have a laugh and see if he laughs.
But yeah, that and when they went through the interviewing process, my previous history had them a little bit dumbfounded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've heard a bit about your previous history.
It's slightly interesting. So
yeah. Do you want to share any of that?
Basically,
just briefly, because I know you go for hours, days.
Yeah, I came from the military and went into a very, very grey sort of work environment as a private security contractor, slant mercenary, slant bodyguard, slant just about anything.
And that was in the Middle East.
Yeah, I spent a long time in Iraq.
Yeah.
Yeah, a long time.
And how have you found your journey over there? Has that, or what you've been through, and then coming to working in mining, has it helped or hindered because you'd have structure and rules or to a certain extent,
Still
maybe not when you were a mercenary and all that side of it,
a little bit different there.
Yeah.
The underground side of it is very much when you're in an underground crew, like I was in development, and they're a lot like being in an infantry section. Basically, everyone lives in each other's pockets.
Yeah.
You rely on each other all the time, watching each other's back, because the ribs and the roof come out all the time, and it can be interesting down there at times.
Yeah.
So it's a lot like that. A lot of the humour is very similar, and the way that they treat each other is very similar.
Yeah,
So
it's how you get through tough
Yeah,
times.
I think it's just because you're in each other's pockets.
Yeah.
You become pretty close, and because you're close like that, and you're looking after each other, it's pretty much the same thing, because you're continually watching each other's back.
And how many were on your crew underground?
Underground, we started with 10, and we went down to we reduced down to about 7, I think, in the end. By the time we finally were getting down.
That's a small crew, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we were on the wall. We only had 9 all the time. That was it.
Yeah.
And some days we operated with just 5 people down there.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's really good to hear, though, for people who are thinking about getting into underground mining, that that you really have to look after each other.
Yeah.
And you need that mentality to go down there.
Yeah.
It depends. Each crew's different. You got your long haul and your development, and then you'll have out by. And
what's that? Out by?
Out by basically do all
belts.
They do the belts. They do all the other jobs, pipes. They run gear into the mine.
Bit of stuff.
They're bitsers. They do everything and anything.
Yep.
So if there's mucking out to do, you're on a loader. You're down in the shit areas like the tailgates and things like that, where it's dusty and hot, and you spend a fair bit of time in, it might be 3-4 years, sometimes only 2, sometimes you're on your own, just depending on what particular jobs are.
Yeah.
So, and you might fit in with, you might be the operator attached to the leckies, or you might be the operator attached to the fitters, because they need to be up in baskets or whatever.
Yeah.
So, it's a bit of a mixed match, the old outboy. Outboy can be a bit like, they're still a tight group, but they operate a little bit differently.
Yeah, when you're under there, you've got to trust your operators.
Yeah.
There's not a great deal of room to muck around sometimes, and you tell him what to do, and he does it. He doesn't just, I think they want to go up and do it. He'll just sit
you
there
have to be sure. Your pulse comms has to be on the ball. Because you look, when you got all that noise down there.
So it's noisy?
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
I never even thought of noise. I just thought of dark.
No.
Is it dark, or is there lighting plants?
If you turn your light off and put your hand in front of your face,
you won't see
you'll smack yourself in the nose before you see it. You won't see it at all.
Light on your hard hat.
Yeah.
Basically, wherever you look, if you can think about the underground, it's more or less like a big corridor. It's a big dark corridor. Wherever you point your light, there's light. You can see it. But obviously, all your peripherals, it's black everywhere else. So when you turn your light out, the only thing that you got to know where you are is the air coming down the mine.
Yeah.
That tells you which way you're facing.
That's why it's interesting when you might be the only one walking off to the crib room, and all of a sudden your light goes out.
Yeah. Well,
You don't know
battery.
you don't know where you are at all. You just sit there and wait for someone to walk past.
Oh, true. Have you done that before, Chippy?
It all depends, because your light, generally with the battery and your light, well, the ones that we had, even though that your light went out, you still could hit it and you'd get a couple of seconds which you can move to get yourself onto the ribs.
Yeah.
Once you're on the rib, you can just walk down the rib holding onto it.
Yeah. And so the rib is a safe area?
No, the ribs aren't safe. But the ribs are
They're the ones that fall in, aren't they?
But the ribs are a guideline.
Yeah.
Because once you can touch,
following the screen.
once you can touch that, So it's like in an emergency, if you can get to the ARS stations, there's the old walking, what do you call them? Bloody canes. Like a big giant walking stick. So you can run that along the rib, or you can reach up and most mines are all the same. All their services, so all your pipes bringing in your water, air, and your wastewater all run down one side.
Yep.
So if you reach up, you can hit them. So as you walk along, you just keep tapping them, so you know exactly where you are. And they all run to the main travel road. Once they get to the main travel road, you've got that much wind coming down there. All you have to do is turn into it and face. Once it's hitting you in the face, you're in the right direction. You just keep going.
All depends where you want to go, but
yeah, assuming you're heading
but if your light's out, you want to go out.
Yeah, you want to go out.
Yeah.
Wow. So, what was it like for you the first time you went down, Sean?
I'd been in caves and tunnels and things like that before, so
I suppose.
I sort of had a little bit of I sort of had an idea what was coming. I thought it was, when I first went in, I had no idea what all the ropes on the roof were. They were all just hanging down and you could just see the strings, so I had no idea.
What are they for?
No, they just tie up all the cables and bits and pieces.
There's cables, you just tie them up, and then when they change them, they just cut them down. Everything just stays there.
It just hangs up there.
It just hangs there.
But all you're seeing is all these things hanging down above your head. You got no idea until you can actually turn and look and see what they are. Because when you're going down in a drifty in there, all you see is everything just hanging and there's shit everywhere in it. When you first go down, you're completely lost. You got no idea. But then it doesn't take long to figure it all. Most of it out. You know where most things are going. And it's like anywhere. It's all signposted. So.
Oh, there's signs under there?
Yeah.
So, can you explain to the listener what a drifty is? Because I remember when the real miner said he was working on a drifty, I'm like, what the fuck's a drifty? Because what do you mean you don't know what that is?
Well, drifty is basically a man carrier. So.
Or a woman carrier. People carrier.
You fit 2 people in the front, and is it 8?
Depends whether you're in a PJB or a drifter.
7 in the back, in a PJB, and up to 12 in a drift runner.
Yeah. And they're really low.
It depends on the mine. Like our mine we had pretty high roofs really. So, and we had fairly wide roadways. So we were actually quite lucky as opposed to some places. I mean, you can, if you look on, when they show those Yank ones, they're all low and flat to the ground. It's hard to stand up. But we had shitloads of room.
Yeah, our seam was 4.2 metres high.
Yeah, right.
So that's what we cut out at.
And do the drifties, they don't have windows, do they?
Front
they have
window.
Like cages? Is it kind of like...
It's all caged, but your front windows are glass.
Yeah.
And some of them have got a mesh in between the 2 glasses too, so you can get the nice cool breeze coming straight through when you're coming up the drift.
Got to look after the real ones.
Tie the deputy in.
So the deputy is like
an OC.
Oh, right, in charge of.
Yeah, he runs.
They're in charge. So you'll have, except whereas Open Cut you've got one OCE.
I'll just interrupt. OC is a open cut examiner. Yep. And a deputy is basically the same, but underground. It's
exactly the same, but underground. Except you've got one for any panel that's working. So
so not for the whole underground mine. Each panel has a different deputy.
Each panel has a different deputy, and basically they've got their own zone, and then you'll have your out-by deputies, and they'll cover the rest of the mine. So they do all those inspections on the outside.
Yeah, right.
All those other areas, because if you're in a development, they only go as far back as the auxiliary fan, basically.
Yeah. So they got all statutory declarations and everything, and checks and everything they got to do.
Yep.
So they're looking after your health and safety as well.
Yeah.
They look after the mining side up the front. Yeah. They don't look after what's behind them.
And anyone that comes in, the deputy can send them out of his panel even if it's a manager. He's got the thing.
He has the authority.
Yeah.
Get out, you clown.
Yeah.
Well, same as the minor driver. If you come up to the back of the minor, and what you have to do is you have to come up behind the back of the minor, wait outside the no-go zones, give him a wave with your light, get his attention, and when he's ready for you to come up, he'll wave you up with his light. Mm-hmm. Now, if he doesn't wave you up, you cannot get on that minor. If you go up onto that minor, he will fuck you off.
Right.
And you're not getting back on it.
So that's the pos-cons is the wave of the light.
Yeah, well, if you get a circle... No, 2 ways. Or if you get a circle with your thing, that's come here.
Yeah.
And like up and down, yeah, and sideways, no.
Yeah. No. That's it. Because you can't... There's that much noise down there. You can yell as much as you like. You're not going to hear nothing.
Oh, my God. So I didn't even think of noise.
Yeah.
Why didn't I think of noise?
Yeah.
So can you explain what a miner is? It's not a person. It's a machine.
It's a machine. Well you've got...
We're miners.
Yeah. In our case, you've
There's
got...
beers with a miner.
A continuous miner. Basically, it's just a big... I don't know how you explain a continuous miner. It's basically a big spinning freaking...
It's a machine that just cuts a roadway.
Yeah.
It just goes straight forward.
And it just
spits the coal out.
Up and down, and chews it out, and it drops it down, and then it's got like little gathering arms that pull it in, put it on a conveyor, and it throws it out on the tail into a shuttle car, and the shuttle car will then run it back to the belt. And then it'll load the coal. Basically, it's like an electric truck. Well, in our case, they were electric ones, shuttle cars. They're on a retractable cable, so you drive away from the boot end, where the boot end's where at the end of your conveyor belt, and you drive away from that. Cable pulls out behind you. You drive up to the back of the miner. They put the tail over the back. They fill it up with coal, and you chase that cable all the way back to the boot end.
How many cables have you run over?
You don't have to run after it.
0.
Oh, hey.
I haven't killed it. Well, actually, I've run over one, but I haven't killed it.
So what do you chase it with?
But it's basically on a big...
Sorry, you said
it's retractable.
Yeah.
Blonde. Mate.
So
inertia reel.
So it's like a reel.
Right, so you move along with it.
Yeah.
So like it spins on the reel, so it winds up when you back at the thing, and when you go out it unwinds, and then you chase it back again.
Yeah.
Sometimes it gets caught and they run over it.
Oh, you don't, Chicky.
No, I don't. Fitters don't operate them.
Oh, right. You just fix
No, I was only on the long wall. I never made it over the development.
Yeah.
It gets a little bit... Like the shuttle car's an interesting thing, because when you drive away from the boot end,
Sorry, interrupt. What's the boot end?
The boot end is at
it's the end of the belt system.
It's the end of the belt system.
Ah, right.
Where they can load all the coal in.
Yeah.
So
it's basically like a pulley system at the back end, where it runs around the pulley and goes back up again.
Yeah.
And it's got it's a bit like an impact station as well, so that you can drop coal straight onto the belt without it knocking the belt all over the place, and then it runs off track, and then you're throwing coal everywhere. So when you go away from the boot end, the shuttle car, you've got to drive it. It's 4-wheel steering, so wherever you turn, all the wheels go.
4 wheels.
Yeah,
cool.
So no, not really.
No.
You sit facing forward. Well, it's got 2 seats, one facing forwards, one facing back. And you've got a steering wheel on the side, on the angle.
On the right side, I can see it.
Yeah. And when you drive away from the boot end, you've got to drive it. You've got to steer in reverse, basically. So if you want to steer away from something, you have to turn into it. If you come back, it's like steering normally.
So
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you feel my mind going, what?
Yeah. So you've got to get it in your head that, well, you got to turn into it to turn away from it.
Yeah.
So it's weird. It's one of these.
It's not articulated.
No.
No.
It's just basically like
just weird.
Yeah, it's like a big truck tray that you sit on the side of.
Oh. So why has it got a seat behind you as well?
Because
so
all you do is
jump at the back.
all you do, you'll sit there, you drive up, they load you full of coal.
Yep.
Once they've finished loading, you jump into the other seat and drive back again.
Drive back the other way.
Yeah.
See, I got that bit.
Yeah. But it's certainly an interesting bit of gear.
Wow.
And it's basically got 2 lot of gears, fast and slow, and you drive fast. And it always
And
starts.
it has reverse as well, then?
Yeah,
Has
it's all
reverse?
off the foot pedals. So
Yeah.
like your foot pedal, if you lift the pedal up, or you can muck around with the pedals, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a it's an interesting thing to drive anyway.
Yeah.
And it, certainly when you're first learning, you get completely confused, and it can be quite dangerous.
I'll start
Yeah.
with Sierra. It's on tracks.
Yeah,
It's right. It goes backwards and forwards.
Yeah. Scary place to learn down there, like you said, when it's so
yeah. Well, you got to be.
important to get it right. And if
You've
you're
got to get it right
learning,
because you haven't got a lot of room, and that's why no-go zones and
yeah.
they're essential. If you don't, someone will get squashed.
So what other POSCOMs do they have other than a circle with your headlight up and down or side to side? Did you have a little radio?
No.
No radios down
No,
there.
a little. What did the real miner have? He had something that you could get a message on.
PED.
Oh, Ped.
Yeah, that.
Yeah. That,
PED,
Yeah.
personal electronic device.
yeah, but basically it's part of your lamp system. So they can send you a quick message down there. You can't reply. You've got to go to a phone.
Oh, so they've got phones down.
You got phones every
Call me on the
so
back
many
phone.
cut throughs, and then on the belt system, every 200 metres you got a DAC.
A DAC.
Yeah,
What's that?
they're ClearCom. So
Basically, you
press
just
the button
push a button.
and talk to the control room
Oh,
operator.
so like an intercom.
That's if they
Yeah.
work.
Yeah. Oh, they don't always work.
No.
No. Oh, right. Oh, so there is a few different
Yeah.
ways to communicate.
Yeah.
Oh.
Then you got your no speak, because if you got gas down there and you got your mask, and
You've got your
everything,
rescue on. You can't talk anymore.
you can't talk, so you got to press the phone on the phone button, like number 5.
Yeah.
There's a little raised button. So if your light's out, you feel on the
Yeah.
and you feel it. You press that, like that alerts them up there that you want to talk to them, and they'll talk to you, and you just got a 1 or 2, like
Oh, so it's like, what does
It's
number
like
one mean?
yes or no.
yes or
Yeah.
no.
So yes or no. So you
Like
got
help.
two for no and 3 for yes.
Yeah.
Because
But they-
that's how many letters there are in those words.
Yeah.
So
But they know once you're pressing the 5, the 555 emergency number.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Gee, there's so much more to it, isn't there? Did you have to, at the mine where you worked, have no beard and mow?
No, we were.
No, they were trying to bring it in, but there was a lot
It
of
got
people-
fought.
Yeah.
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 Because it varies from mine to mine,
They
doesn't
did
it?
do tests on it. Some was clean shaven, the others not.
Yeah.
And our crew, we had no difference.
It was inconclusive mainly
Yeah.
because you've got
Excuse me, I'll just interrupt. Can you explain what it's for those that are listening that don't know? Because you have to wear a mask, and there's
you've got breathing apparatus. So like you go from your personal rescue, which is on your belt, which is basically just a rebreather.
a rebreather.
Rebreather. You breathe into it. It's a chemical reaction, and basically you're breathing your own oxygen
Back again.
back again.
It
It's not
gets
good
hotter
to do
and-
that.
It gets
for long.
hotter and
Yes,
hotter,
it's
and it's
hotter.
harder and harder to breathe, and you just
You end up with blisters and everything in your mouth.
yeah, because
you got it on for too long.
if you've got it on for too long, it's supposed to last about 40 minutes. So that should give you enough time to get to. In our case, we had your breathing apparatus. So that basically is similar to what you see the fireys wear. So they have the tank on the back
Yep.
and comes around to a big full face mask, and it's oxygen on demand. And you can refill every time you go to a new station. You can refill.
Yeah.
We had a new
Yeah.
station every 800 metres.
But you don't carry that with you all the time.
No,
No,
they're
not
all-
That's
station.
just if the air's getting a bit crazy. Toxic.
We carry the rescuer on your hip all the time.
Yep, and that's your 40 minutes.
That gets you
pretty
to
much
that-
before you get blisters in your mouth.
Yeah, that'll get you to the caber station where you can get the breathing apparatus on.
Have you had to do that before?
I only what do you call them? Bloody scenarios and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Or not in real life.
Not real life, no.
Because I can imagine be going, oh my God, and you get to it and go, oh, it'd be the best breath you've ever taken, wouldn't
It's
it?
like that. It's like that
And
with
some
scenarios.
people, when you put them
Even
on,
in scenarios, they
Or the scenario one, if they give you a live self-rescue, by the time that you get to it, which generally it's not very long, it's 15 minutes max, it's bloody hot and you're struggling. It's hard work because, I mean, you've still got to go, like they might give you a casualty or they might do whatever. You might have to do something prior to getting to the next part.
yeah.
So you might have to grab a couple of casualties out and get them back to the station. To do that, you're expending a lot of energy and you're breathing heavy and it's hard.
And you're breathing your own
Yeah,
air.
basically, if you can think of like a rubber tube and get some of that, what do you call it? Green polypad, the Stilo stuff. The
Steel
green,
wool.
Oh, yeah,
steel,
steel
but the green
Steel
stuff,
wool,
green
yeah.
one.
Yeah.
It's because it's quite
Like
thick.
scourer.
Scourer,
Yeah.
right? Shove that down the inside of a tube and then try and breathe. Try and suck air in through that,
And no nose.
and your
you
nose
gotta-
is pegged off.
you got a clip on your
You got a
nose.
clip on your nose to.
Because, like, some gas, if you breathe it, you don't get a second chance at bang.
You're gone.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got these stupid little piggy goggles on.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah, for sure.
It's not a lot of fun, that, but but once you get to you can suck in the big ones. It's all right.
But then some people, once they put that mask and everything on too, like,
Claustrophobia and
they
stuff.
sort
you
of
can-
freak out a bit.
Yeah.
And then they start panicking. So the more you panic, the more oxygen you suck through. So, yeah, it's interesting.
Have you ever known or seen anyone that's gone like you did, bought all the new gear, went down underground, and then went, nah, fuck that, I can't do it?
Yeah, I was there a couple of months and then a new bloke started,
Yeah.
and I think he made it about 500 metres down
Yeah.
from the portal. Just freaked out, took him out, never seen him again.
Oh, really?
And then we had a old bloke, been mining for 30 years, and then something just clicked, and he was only down 2 cut-throughs, and that was it. He had to get out and never come back either. So,
And he'd been doing it for 30
he'd been doing it
years.
for 30 years, and
all of a
something
sudden-
just clicked in him, mate.
Wow. Time to retire and go
Well,
fishing.
yeah.
Ah. So what did you struggle with the most when you first started down there? When you were green and learning or didn't know what was happening? What was your hardest challenge? Because everyone has something at the start. We all start, we don't know what we're doing, and I like to share these stories so new people who are listening get an idea that, you can overcome these things, or you can go, yeah, no, it's not for me, I'm not doing that.
I think mine was the terminologies. Like, I didn't have a clue what the hell they were talking about. And basically, or what I really needed to be, that a lot of the people that were clean skins that were going down there, they were contractors. So they had no idea what they were doing.
Yeah.
Mine was shooting people. That's what I used to do. It's a...
Bang.
Yeah, it's a...
You know that.
Yeah, we wouldn't let him shoot us.
Yeah, bad guy.
Yeah.
Get him.
But see, going from that sort of environment to being underground and having no clue whatsoever. They're talking about different types of cables. I'm all looking at it. They all just look like spaghetti to me. And then they're going, it's a retic cable. I go, what the fuck is a retic cable? I've got no idea.
Yeah.
Not a clue.
Yeah.
And they're all expecting you to know because everybody else that is a clean skin down there has been a contractor. So they
So
all
not
know.
a true clean skin.
Well, no, they're a clean skin as a shirt. But they got a contractor who was, maybe they were working for, one of the other mobs who, they might be doing ventilation or something like that. They're not.
So they knew
they're
the
not,
underground
yeah,
terminology.
they're new to development. Or
Whereas
new
you
to-
were a true clean skin.
Yeah, I had
not to the industry.
Yeah, I had
Yeah.
no clue
Got you.
whatsoever what the hell was going on down there.
So how did you get through it? Did you write notes or lists or
No,
do you have
just
memory things? How did you do that?
ended up, I suppose, I got sort of quite lucky with a couple of people who sort of mentored me through as in even a couple of the other clean skins that were there, that you sort of just follow along and you ask questions. Because, you know, it's like they say, the only dumb questions when not asked. And, you know, it's as stupid as it sometimes seems, sometimes the guys who'd been down there for years, they didn't know what it was either. They know what it does, what it looks like. They don't actually know what it's why.
Yeah.
And once you start asking questions, and I was like, oh yeah. And then they can explain the processes. Well, we're doing this because of this, and then you can see where it follows from there. Because a lot of the time, when you first start off, you start off in sort of the out-by jobs, so you learn all you get all the shitty little jobs out the back sort of thing.
And you just pop down underground,
so you're doing,
pop back out.
Well, you're doing, like, you know, they'll put you down there and you'll be pulling cables or doing pipes or, you know, things like that. And you don't really know what the hell you're doing or what it's even for. And then that's where you've got to ask. So, and understanding about why things are happening. So, like, we put in a pressure reducer. I had no idea why we were putting a pressure reducer in or what it was even for. I knew, like, obviously, what it sounds like.
It's going to
pressure reducer, reduce the pressure. Why though? What?
Yeah.
And
to
then
help
they busy.
air quality?
No,
It's for water.
Not for the water, see?
Because you're going down underground, you're going down and getting a bigger head on it, so there's more pressure in the pipe.
So when that
blows them all apart.
when that water gets further down to like the minor or to the long wall, they're only designed to have a certain amount of pressure. And as soon as you put too much pressure in there, you start blowing them all to bits. So
that's not good.
blowing seals and things like that.
Yeah.
And then they've got water flooding the place, and water is not something that you want underground.
No.
But like you said before, where you just pop in and out.
No.
You don't pop in and out. Once you go down with the crew in the morning, you're there until you come out.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10.
Even the other people that are doing all the different jobs.
A lot of them
That's
get
who
to,
I meant.
Yeah, they get to come.
Well, it depends. Some of them get to go up and down, like your fitters and your leakies and that. They're always in and out because they've got to go get parts. Because half the time they don't know what they're walking into until they get in there.
Yeah.
And so they'll get given, right, this is what the job is, or this is what's happened. They'll get down there and they'll go, nah, we need this. So up they pop it. So they're like little corks.
Well, used to be
Little corks.
They are.
Fitters a corpse. Did you hear that, you real wrong?
Over with the long wall, I had a supervisor upstairs, so I called him up and get him to send the stuff down so I could, you know, just keep working on it.
Right.
And he was getting it, so he knew what I was on about.
Yeah.
Because he was a long wall fitter to start with as well.
Because it can take you quite a while to come out from
it
right down the bottom of the pit.
An hour at least.
It just depends.
Really?
Yeah, it just depends where you are in the pit, what traffic's going in and out. So, like, if there's you know, a heavy load or something that's coming in and out, you're stuck.
No one's going anywhere.
No, you got to wait till he comes past.
So is it double lengths?
No.
No. Bloody hell! I
You've got to pull into a cut through to let somebody go past, and then you come out and keep going. So every 100 metres we got a cut through where you can.
That's right. I knew that.
Yeah.
Do you want a beer, Shifty?
Oh, we'll flog them if you will.
Do you want one, Sean? You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Now for a word from our sponsor. Welcome Julia Hartman and the Bantax Accounting Group to Team Mad Mumsy. Julia is my awesome accountant. She has written 2 books with financial expert Noel Whittaker and has a passion to help us miners make the most out of our hard-earned cash. Head to bantax.com.au/miners. That's BANTACS to download your free miners booklet and a spreadsheet that will help you calculate the weight of your tools you need for your job. Why, you ask? Well, you might be able to hitchhike a ride with them and claim your trips to work. Sounds confusing? Not at all. Just head over to bantax.com.au and let Julia and the team help you out. You will also find loads of free information and advice on property investing if you plan to really do some great things with your money. Again, that's bantax.com.au/miners and tell them Mad Mumsy sent you.
But like, you go down there, your crib room, I was telling the boys at work, they just can't believe. The crib room there at work, like, it's just a bench and that's where you sit underground. You get vehicles driving past you, so there's fumes, the dust.
You get the loader right against you.
Yeah, the noise from the loader screaming its motor, you know, like...
And is there a kettle?
No.
No bloody kettle.
There's
I couldn't believe it. No toaster.
No.
Microwave.
Some underground mines do have those sort of things, but not ours. Ours didn't have...
No air conditioning.
Hang on. Cheers, guys.
Yeah. Tough.
And if you're out by, you may not get crib room. So, like, the closest you'll get, like, if you're working in a tailgate and that, you'll come out into fresh air because, like I said, it's hot and it's dusty and it is crap in there. And you'll come out of there and you'll be black as the ace of spades coming out of there because anything you touch in a tailgate is...
Even on the long wall.
Yeah, it's shit.
So did you guys have the eyeliner look?
Oh, yeah. We were down the mess one night, our crew went in and we're sitting there eating and there was a new girl in at the mess and I got up to go and get something and she come over to me and said, "Oh, is that a new club you're with?" And one of the other girls had to explain, no, we were underground and that's just
how it is.
You can't wash it off.
Well, down at the servo, they had the same thing. It was a new girl at the servo and the guys were coming in and she thought there was a whole lot of gay guys because they were all wearing eyeliner. It wasn't until it got explained to her that, you know...
They work underground.
You work underground.
It just doesn't wash off. It takes 7 days.
Did it hurt your actual eyes? Because I've always had eye issues. Did it actually irritate your eyes or did it just...
I don't know, I just got used to it.
I think you get used to it.
Yeah.
I think it was a little bit of irritation, but it's mainly the other stuff, like, you know, stone dust and things like that.
So what about you, Shifty? What did you struggle with the most when you first went down there? Or when
most of my stuff was just fitting work. So, like, hoses are hoses. So I've already sort of done all that.
Yeah.
But to get down there, you had to operate as well. So I walked in and the bloke on the main gate drum, on the shearer, just threw his remote at me and walked off. The next minute, I'm driving the shearer. Like, I get down to the end, no worries, driving along, not hitting anything. Get down to the end, I didn't know what to do. No one tells you anything. So I just, stop button on here. Press the stop button. That's got them going, because then they had to go and reset everything.
So you're not meant to push the stop button? Well, stop means stop, right?
Yeah, no one tells you. You don't know, but yeah.
See, nowadays you'd have to be passed out. Yeah.
There's a lot of things that's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah. We used to operate with like 3 people. You got the whole crew down there, the others would take off, go for crib, and we'd have 3 people run it. You'd sit at the main gate. When the shearer got the 70 chock, you'd run down there, take the remote off either one of them, and they'd go and sit at the main gate so they had a break.
Right.
Have a drink and everything, and you'd drive down with, then give them back the remote and they'd take off again.
Things you do.
Yeah.
So can you guys explain, I think the real miner's tried to tell me this as well, because he's in development, or he likes development best. But what's the difference between development and longwall?
That creates a lot of arguments.
Development do all the work and longwall just, they get all the cream.
Oh, right. So you go in and prepare.
We do all the hard work and then they go in and they just... All they do is they just go up and down, up and down.
Development
because they cut all the coal, the glory boys.
Oh, right.
We get the most out. Development...
Because they've got it ready for you.
Yeah. That's what they do. They go in and cut the tunnels.
Yep.
100 metres or 300 metres apart, whatever they decide they want. They do that. Hopefully they get them straight. Because that gives us...
Sometimes they don't.
No, sometimes they don't, and that gives us a hard time when you're trying to drive down it. But yeah, and then we go in, like once the wall's set up, we take that big block of coal out. Like 300 metre face, and you just walk backwards and forwards. Every time you go up and back, you advance like 800 mil. That's what ours used to advance. It used to be a metre, but they cut it back to 800.
Yeah, right.
And then you just keep going.
And does that go all the way up the 4 metre seam?
Yeah, 4.2 metres we cut.
Seam. So it goes up and down.
Yeah,
and
you
up
cut
800.
Like a couple of
roof
hundred
out.
metres across.
Cut the roof out going down to the tailgate, and then you drop the the drums and you cut the floor on the way back.
Yeah.
Depends which way you're mining. Yeah.
See, like what we do in development is you'll have your different development panels, and you'll have one panel, they'll be cutting 2 roadways with cut-throughs to the end, to where whatever the end is. That could be 2Ks, 5Ks, whatever. However long they want the longwall to run for, that's how far we're cutting. So they'll cut those 2. Then you'll have another crew that are, depending on how long your longwall is, so if it's, let's say, for example, it's 280, 300 metres long, they'll be that far apart, cutting another 2 roadways. Once they get to distance, then you cut what's called face road. So you link the 2 different sets of roadways together, and that's where you're going all the way across. So let's say it's 280 metres, so you'll have 2 roadways this side, then 280 metres, and then another 2 roadways. And then what they do is they bring in all the chocks and all the longwall stuff, your face, all the pans and bits and pieces, and they'll set up the longwall in the face road, and that's your takeoff face. The bloody whatever you call it. Anyway,
Forgotten already.
yeah. But you
so they take out the bit between the 2 roads.
Yeah.
Between the 4 roads.
The 4 roads,
Yeah.
but 2 lots of 2. Yeah.
We end up leaving a strip of coal about 50 metres wide between either roadways.
Oh, do you go back and get it?
No.
That's money you're leaving in there.
Yeah, 2 days.
But it saves life.
Yeah.
Because that helps to hold it up.
Yeah, well,
But coal isn't very stable, is it?
no. It blows out a bit.
Yeah.
And then you get floor heave.
Well, I know some.
Massive floor heave.
We had heaps of floor here. That's only 2 metres. The floor had just come up. But it was getting right up to only nearly choking,
It was 500 mil by the end of it.
choking it right off, so you got no airflow through it. In the long wall, you needed airflow down, past all the chocks and out.
Take all the gas and the
All the
dust.
gas and dust and everything. If there was no airflow, we had to get out.
See,
We had a few
I've
fall in,
seen
cave-ins
floor
there.
heaves in the open cut. You probably haven't seen that yet. But, yeah, that's pretty scary. When there was a lighting plant last lap, and the next lap it fell over because the floor's gone like this.
Yeah.
And the reason I bring that up is because the hard hat mentor, who my listeners know is my sister, her partner is a jumbo operator, which is Hard Rock. And he does some hard shit, like obviously hard rock, but that's another whole life as well.
Yeah, it's different,
but he said no way would he do coal.
No.
And I can understand when my sister explained to me that coal crumples pretty quick. I'm like, yeah, it does. I've seen it in the open cut.
I've seen that many roof falls. It doesn't even worry me now. Like, you'd be down the face with someone new, and bang, the roof would fall. You look around, where are they? They're gone.
Oh.
And you're still
But
standing
where
there.
did they go?
Yeah, they were just,
they're
doesn't
running.
matter. They're out there. But then,
Fight or flight.
yeah, well, that's what they tell you. You can always come back. But if you stand there and you'll get squashed, well, you'll stay
Also,
there.
is that what they tell you to run?
Yeah, but you just get so complacent.
Is that in your induction?
You get blasé about
You
it.
just get so complacent, again.
You know what complacency does?
Well, yeah. I was buried down there 3 times. Underground.
No shit.
Yeah, fixing chocks, and everything just rained in.
Yeah.
And the boys had to grab me by the feet and pull me out. Then you shovel it all out, go in again.
Oh,
But over the 10 years, 3 times.
Yeah. And it did never make you think,
No,
I'm not going.
never worried me.
Or did you just laugh and have another scotch?
Well, everybody else was laughing too.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, covered again.
Glad it wasn't me.
But it's just the mentality of it too, though. Being down there,
Yeah.
it's like when you're gluing up the face because you've got roof falls and the rest of it, and you're going in, you're doing PUR and things like that. You've got to go over, and somebody's got to get over the pan line and do the steels on the drills. Someone's got to change the steels. So in our case, it was usually
The contractors.
Well, no, the Kiwis.
I wasn't going there.
It was send the Kiwis over.
You're a Kiwi, aren't you?
Yeah.
Sean? So did you get to go?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Oh, right. Are they expendable, Shifty?
Yeah, apparently.
What's the go? Come on,
Kiwis.
we're not racist here.
No, my whole crew when I first started were all Kiwis.
Yeah, I believe there's a lot of underground
Yeah.
miners that are Kiwis.
Yeah, so
New Zealanders, for people who don't know what Kiwi is.
But yeah, but that was sort of like a common joke sort of thing. It was Kiwis and mental people went over the panel.
yeah, don't worry, everyone gets their fair share.
Yeah, I mean, like everyone, a lot of people went over, but it just seemed to be that.
The thing is, when you're over there, like you've had a roof fall, and you get your light and you look up, and when you can't see the roof, like it's a long way up.
Yeah, right.
But you
Because
hear
the roof's falling.
You'll hear
yeah,
things.
you hear things coming down the side, but the things that are falling straight down, you don't hear them.
Yeah.
They
Because
just
they're not hitting
bang.
anything.
Oh, you get
They're not
flooded.
hitting anything.
Yeah, you get, and they don't, it doesn't have to be a big rock.
No,
All the time I was there,
you'd get killed by coconut.
only one of our crew lost the top of his finger. A rock just bang. And he had those gloves that we wear out there.
Yeah.
He had them on and not a mark on it. And he took the glove off and where's the finger and poked it out.
Wow.
They just share things. And you get nailed. Like, I mean, I got flattened by one that came between the chocks when we were drilling, and it just drops you literally like a stone. You just boom. You 1 minute you're there, next minute you're lying flat on your stomach.
Like you've been shot.
Oh. No, a little bit. Just getting shot's a little bit different. Depends where you get shot.
Depends where you get. Oh dear. So did that make you think twice about being under there, or just did you get up, dust yourself off and go,
Well, that's what you do.
No, in that particular case, no, I needed to go back and get a bit of ice because that hurt. It hit me right through.
no, bit of ice. No, big well, that's good. Sorry, I'm not taking the
No,
piss.
but I got
Well, I would have.
in that particular case. I did actually look up at the last second and threw my hand up, which sort of deflected it away from my face and into my back, which it flattened me.
Yeah.
And I'd got a little bit of nerve damage in my finger for a while.
Yeah.
And just large bruise on your back and good scrape and but I mean if it had been a big rock it could have been a shitload worse.
Oh God, yeah.
But then you get the other things like the whole face will slab out while you're standing out there, and you'll get, if you're lucky, you'll hear it. You'll hear it, or you'll just see it start to shift, and you.
It's quick.
It's fast.
Yeah, it's quick.
It's quicker than you
Yeah.
think. That amount of stuff that comes, you just running.
Yeah.
And that's sort of one of the things that you need to do. The second you get over that, you got to make sure that you know where you're going to be running to.
And you want everyone out of your road.
Yeah. And if there's stuff in your
And
way,
there's
you want to
people
get it out of the way.
there,
Because
you
you've got
get
to
it
try
right.
and go over the top of the pan line or down the pan line as fast as you can.
Yeah.
And everyone knows that, so they keep out of the road.
Yeah.
They don't. Everyone come and has a look to see what's going on. You know, like
Yeah.
get
Right.
out of here. We're doing
Yeah.
something. So yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Even like I had a bloke, new fitter working with me, changing picks on the shearer, and we were side by side. Well, it's closer to Sean and I am here, and the roof fell. And luckily, that he copped the brunt of it. It hit him in the head,
Lucky
and
for
he
you.
knocked me out of the road.
Oh.
But the slab was only 6 foot long, by about 500 wide, by about 200 thick.
That's still decent.
I knocked him clean out.
Only.
So I had to drag him over the pan line, and then they crucified him.
Why?
Oh, because it was his fault.
Why was it?
So then they stuck him on, day work.
because they're just...
Oh, yeah.
Some of the mentality of some of the people who are in charge
Yeah.
just it doesn't... It's not realistic. They're dreaming half the time.
Some people seem to get hurt all the time too.
Wrong place, wrong
and
time.
this bloke just happened to be one of those
Yeah.
people too.
So when it comes to management and you're working underground, do they come down very often? Or have they ever?
It did get a bit better. Like they were coming down, but you had people down there who really had no idea that shouldn't.
telling you stuff, what to do?
Most of the time they sat up there in their office
They're questioning things that.
and watched the computer screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they could see, they couldn't see development, but they could see us, the shearers going backwards and forwards. If the shearers going backwards and forwards, the coal's coming out, they didn't want to know.
Money in the bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's,
Pretty much about it.
Yeah.
But there were some good people in management, and then there was some people there that they really had no place coming underground at all because they had no clue. Like it wasn't really they were expected to come down because they wanted management to be seen to be down there. But they come down and they've got they're questioning things or they're trying to bring up things, sort of big noting, I suppose, but and they've really got no idea what the actual safety issues are down there. What are the hazards? They're bringing up things that you're going,
That's nothing compared to what's really going on.
yeah. And then and they also a lot. Sometimes they've got. I suppose in a way, we didn't do things probably as safe as what they wanted them to be done, but at the same time, their notion of what they wanted done and achieved didn't equate to what they actually expected.
Yeah.
So, like, we made things happen, and sometimes they weren't safe. Well, we considered them safe enough that we could do them. But if people were to come down and look, and, your safety gurus, they would have smashed you. But that's just, it comes down to risk management, I suppose, because we look at it and we go, yeah, we can do it. Can we do it safely? Yeah, that's why we're doing it.
Yeah, because that's the main aim.
Yeah, but if they look at it, they come down and go, oh no, you're not doing that. You haven't got 3 points of contact here. You haven't got. Get fucked. We can't get the thing done. If you want us to do it that way,
We'll have to wait
we're going to be writing JSAs and things like that. We're going to be here forever to get one little job done that will take us 10 minutes if you turn your back.
But you're still doing it in a way that you felt comfortable and
we were doing it
looking after each other.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't.
No, there's no way you put somebody at risk.
Yeah.
Well, you wouldn't put yourself at risk because at the end of the day, we all need a job.
Yeah.
We all need the coin coming in. And the first thing that they start to do as soon as you start hurting yourselves is they start looking to crucify you, see what you did wrong.
It's always you. You did something wrong.
Yeah.
That seems to be the way they looked at us. It was never, what
A slag fell out the roof.
Yeah. What did we need to make it, safer?
Yeah.
No, they sort of always crucified the worker first.
It's just how it is working down there. But you can understand their mentality of trying to do their best to reduce the risk for everyone. But
Which is understandable, but at the same time, their expectation of what they want to achieve,
They know they can't.
they can't achieve it unless they don't come down.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they're in a
Everything used to go
catch-22.
smoother from 12 o'clock Friday till Monday morning.
We're on night shift.
No
All the bosses
around.
are gone,
No bosses.
everything's set, and we used to cut the most coal. And then they'd come in Monday, and they're all high-fiving each other. Oh, we cut this much coal. You just weren't even here.
We did.
Yeah.
We're a team.
Yeah.
When we want to be, otherwise it's you.
Yeah.
You lot down there.
You're at fault.
Finish your
That's
job.
exactly right.
So, if someone listening was thinking about going underground, what is the biggest thing you would want them to know from your experience before they go down there? What's just one thing?
Okay. With me, everything's manual. If you got to put oil in a shearer, you're carrying 20-litre drums down the face, a couple of 100 metres on your shoulder, and you might have to take 200 litres down. So you're carting all that down. If anything's got to get done, it's chain block and backwards and forwards. It's a lot of hard, heavy.
Everything underground is heavy.
Yeah.
There is not a single thing down there except a shovel that's not heavy.
And that's actually a shovel. Like
Yeah,
a gun
because as soon as the wall falls in and the chocks get buried, you're digging. And
So
the minute
what are
they move
chocks?
them,
I'm not quite sure what the
roof
chocks
supports.
Oh, right.
So, yeah.
So they're important.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They keep the roof up.
That's why she goes down when the chocks get buried. Right, I got you now.
Anything that falls down in front of the chocks, the only way for it to go is it's got to go out the belt, or it's got to be manually lifted and try to put through the chocks. You got to gap.
Or thrown back onto the belt, onto
or
the chain.
throw it over that side, get the chain running again, and then put it all back on bit by bit so it goes out.
Because generally what can happen is, like if the face falls in or the roof falls in, you can get that much weight on the chain can't pull.
Just
It won't move at all. So the only way you can move the chain is to dig it out, which means the only place you can throw it is on the other side, so back on under the chocks.
Yeah.
So you're basically burying your chocks to get the chain moving. As soon as you've got the chain moving, you got to pick all that up, throw it back the other way.
Oh, you can unbury the chock.
Yeah. So, and the same thing as if you bury the chocks and it's in fines and things like that, is that once you dig it out, to get it to move, then your chock might move, but when they move, they've got to drop it to move it. As soon as they drop it, it buries it again. So you can spend
You just
days,
shovel all that, and it's gone for nothing.
You could spend hours and hours down there shoveling, for example,
My first year we
10 or 20 chocks, you might spend literally hours down there. The first time they move it, they bury it again, and you're back to square one. It looks like you might clear it down, a metre and a half. You might take it down, so it's back to the normal floor. And the first time they move it, bury it back to a metre again. So you've basically, it's Groundhog Day and you start again.
Oh, my
so
you've got to be fit then.
a lot of the stuff you've got to, and a lot of it's teamwork, because you got to be changing around all the time, because it's hard work. So and some of the stuff you can't, once you're buried in amongst the chocks trying to pull stuff out. So you got shovels and picks and pelican picks and things like that. So you're dragging it out and you're dragging it into buckets. Then you pass the bucket to old mate. He throws it over the top and go back,
that's
fill it
like
up again.
the black and white movie.
Yeah,
See?
exactly like that.
England.
But that's the only way you can move it, because
No, it's interesting.
it's
We did that for months when I first went underground. Like, we never moved. The crib room stayed in the one spot, because every time we went to move again, it'd just fall in. And we did that for would have been nearly 6 months.
And you had to do it even as a fitter.
Yep.
It was all in.
It's one and all.
Everybody.
They bring down everybody from
In the
upstairs
last,
that comes down.
before they shut the place, the last four,
Management
they
down
had
there in
all
there.
the staff,
Only-
secretaries, everybody.
Really?
Yep.
They're not down there for very long, but they do come down.
Yeah. They were
I'll
there.
move that little bit of cotton.
Yeah, well,
I'm dirty. I'm
Yeah,
going
well,
back
that's
up.
right. But
It's like anything. Whenever they can find a job, they're finding one to, like I said, they're corks. They just pop back up to the surface.
Just got to pop back up.
Yeah, just got to pop back up to the surface for
Yeah.
this. Yeah, righto. Yeah, we won't see you again.
So what about you, Sean? What have you got as a tip for someone thinking about getting in underground?
Like Shifty says, everything's heavy. So you got to be prepared to get in. You got to be prepared to listen big time.
Listen, yeah.
Because underground, the older guys, the more experienced guys, generally they can be a bit hard on the new guys, but they're just testing you out more than anything. Basically, if you've got feelings, leave them upstairs, because there's no point in having them down there.
Oh,
because
what about emotions? I'd cry. I'd be hopeless. I would be.
There's no hurt feelings form. So
Form.
yeah,
they haven't got one.
there's no form for hurt feelings. So you might as well not fill one out. You might as well leave them behind.
Or just don't go there if you don't think you could hack it.
No, you've got to expect to be shit on, because they will. Once they, if they can see a chink in your armour, they're coming for you.
Yeah.
So, don't give them anything.
Toughen up, princess.
Yeah. You just got to suck it up. You just got to get in there, and if you work hard and you get in and get involved, don't try to hide from anything, because the minute you do, they'll single you out as being Jack, and that's it. You're done.
But
You're not getting in on that crew.
The boys will let you sit there and do nothing all day.
Yeah.
But you don't.
Not for too long, but like you might get away with it for a week or two, and then when you don't actually start pulling your own weight, then they'll start riding you.
Yeah, then it's
And you'll know about it.
And then your
yeah.
life
And they'll
is going to
either
be miserable.
make you or break you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's better to join in.
Yep.
Yeah, you throw yourself in there. You know, put yourself in there, and you've got to, with those guys, you need to give them a reason to let you be there, because you know you're part of. If you're going into that crew, they're already established. You have to give them something to trust, and if you don't do that, and you don't show that you're willing to muck in with every single one of them and all the shitty jobs, because it is down there, especially in development, it is muddy, it is shit, it is hot. You know, you will be wet more or less from the minute you get in there some days. And you've just got to get in and give it a go.
I guess too, having such small crews, like you say, they're tight-knit, one person come in.
Yeah.
I just spoke about that yesterday in the podcast I recorded, but yeah, it can just change the whole dynamics.
Yeah. If you don't pull your weight, then somebody else has got to.
I'd honestly like to take a few of the Open Cup boys down into that environment and see what happens.
We've got to we might move on to that. I just wanted to ask before we move on to my real mining, landscape gardening, gravel scratches, bring it on. Were there any women down there when you were down there?
Yeah.
Yeah. What did they do?
Electricians.
Mainly,
electricians and geos.
Yeah, that's what the real miner said. That's what.
Yeah, you get a lot of them are geos, and there's a few. I think we had three electricians.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they do all right? Did they muck in and join in with the blokes?
Yeah, they do. And to a point, it's like I said, everything's extremely heavy. So at times, it's too heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, for some blokes down there, it's too heavy.
Yeah.
And again, it makes it difficult when you can't, you know, if you're paired up with, be it a guy or a girl, doesn't really matter.
That just can't.
Who can't physically keep up, because then you've got to try and do twice as much, and you've got more chance of hurting yourself because you'll get, there's, you know, a number of times down there you'll get lazy pricks who they'll go, oh no, I've just got a bit of a sore back, and they'll pile out of work, but they do it all the time, and that's just, you just get the shits. You don't want to work with them.
Yeah.
So you try everything you can to arsehole them out of your crew. Find a way to get rid of them, because you need, like I said, you've got to have that other guy's back, and be that a girl or a guy. I mean, it doesn't really matter. And we had a couple of girls that came down, and they wanted to get up and they wanted to get on the miner and get up drilling and all the rest of it. By all means, get into it.
Yeah.
And you know they did right up there. There was no issues with that. And I mean, obviously it's pretty physical up there. I mean,
so it's physical even in the machines.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, well, because you still throw them.
I think that it's no air conditioning machine.
No,
fuck.
No air conditioners down there. No radios.
Copy workshop. The aircons are not working.
That was a blowout.
There's no such thing as
As soon as I come to the Open Cup, I seen that.
Not even
the
in the
aircon's
machine.
not working. Stand it down. Hang on, the radio's not working.
No, it's all open. So, like, if you smack into a rib, you're going to bury yourself in coal. It's all coming straight in on you.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, no.
All right.
It's a different world.
We'll move on to the gravel scratching side of the situation. So, long story short, the mine where you were working underground has closed.
Yep.
And you were offered the choice to come across to the Open Cup.
Yep, that's
which
true.
is what you chose to do. Did everyone do that, or
No.
No? A lot of people left.
Yeah, well, I mean, you had the redundancy option.
Yep.
You could apply for the Open Cup, which, because there were no underground jobs, if you wanted to stay with the company, unless you were one of the chosen. And so you know, that's what they had on offer. There was limited positions. You applied. If you were lucky enough, you stayed with the company. And I mean, in this particular time, it doesn't really matter what job you've got as long as you've got a job.
Yeah.
And I mean, you don't have to fight all those other people who have been made redundant and they're all in contract jobs.
And you've still got a shirt.
And you've still got a shirt.
That's
the main one.
Yeah. Did you have to have an interview?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah,
And
To see if you were cut out to be a gravel scratcher.
The real weird thing is, I look at the mix of us that came over, and we're all totally different. I don't know how they picked who to have, especially out of all the underground. I mean, there was a lot of people put in for them.
Yeah, right. But not everyone got it.
But not everyone.
What was there? 12 of us, or 9 actually, because 3 of them already had a job at the wash plant. So.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So let's talk about the differences, the biggest difference. Let's start off with that. From everything you've just described to now working, will you explain to the listeners what you actually do now?
Drive trucks.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, that's what I do. But
Drive round and round in circles.
I knew what my job was underground, as a fitter underground. All the stuff I was doing down there, I sort of knew that, and I've been doing that for 10 years.
Yep.
All of a sudden, like I'm 50 now, I've got to learn to drive this truck. And they're sitting there, you do this and do that, and like, right.
And you got to get in the right spot.
In the
at
right
the
spot.
dump and under the... You're doing all right now.
Yeah, but once you know what's going on, you get it all figured out, then it's fine. But until you got it all figured out, what am I doing here? Like,
You get down there and the digger's, he's scratching here and he's scratching there, and you're looking at it and you're going,
they told me this,
and then they go, well, you want to get your truck so far past, you want to be on this angle at like 45, and you're looking at it, you go, what the fuck is 45 from here? And then they're going, come 45 to the bench. I had no idea what the hell a bench was.
Yeah, right.
Different terminology.
There's different terminologies. They're like, and different digger drivers would dig in different ways. And once you sort of learn to pick who was doing what and how they were doing it, it's taken a wee while to click. And I think I'm clicking a lot better now than especially in these last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Because I didn't really have a clue. I couldn't pick his sequence at all.
No. Well, that's where I was. We never had a tip. We used to paddock dump everything.
Oh, so you didn't have a dump
No
with a dozer?
No dump with a dozer on.
Yeah, so
and all of a sudden I get over here and no one told me.
Oh, so you're all passed out, ready to go, but you've
Nobody
never
told
been on
me,
a dump.
hang on, there's a little wing there, that's where you start dumping. Or
And
if
that's
he's
the
sitting there
start.
with his blade up in the air, he wants you in beside him. And I just driving up there and, what's going on here?
Yeah. Back to the start or in the finish corner.
Yeah,
Where the
like,
fuck's that? Yeah.
Well, I don't feel so bad now that we've got these new stars and you hear them on the radio.
Yeah.
And
And you're like,
that was
hey,
me.
I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But everyone takes it for granted because they know.
That's right.
Because
And
most of the people that come here aren't green like us. They're contractors. They've been and they're doing all this stuff.
Yeah.
But it's exactly the same as when we first went underground. Like, you're green.
Yeah. That's right. But you have to think about everyone that started was green once.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? And that's why I do the podcast. Because a lot of people think, I don't know if you come across this, where people think, oh, you're a miner. Gee, you must be rich. How do I get a job doing that? And they think it's easy. Just get in there. But you know what? It's not everything that you think.
Being open cut it's more mental than physical, obviously. So, like, if you bashed your body up, like
I agree with
a few of us have, it's a hell of a lot easier on the body. You're not, definitely when you come to your break, you're not as stuffed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I'd go back underground again.
I mean,
Really? Big
No,
coal shifting?
it's a lot of
it's hard
physical work.
And
it really is. Well, I mean, if I went down there, I know the job, which makes it a lot easier for me.
Yeah, comfort
But
zone.
I'm right in my comfort zone. But anything you were doing, like you're on a chain block, you might be there for 4 hours just flogging yourself, or backwards and forwards carting drums down through chocks, and I sort of don't miss any of that bit.
Geez, no wonder the real miners muscly and cut.
Well, not really. You look...
Well,
My real minor, I mean.
Well,
now I understand
I put on
a lot more of what he does.
But see, like...
Now you're getting a trucker belly.
Yeah.
Personally, I prefer the underground, but at the same token, like, I have damaged myself that much previously that I know that if I stayed underground for any length of time, let's say another 10 years, I wouldn't be doing much. I'd be absolutely screwed. But that's just me personally. But I do prefer... I like the underground mainly because the camaraderie is a little bit different.
It's a lot different.
Well, it's a lot different, but it's the same.
Smaller too.
Yeah, it's.
I mean,
it's
our whole crew of a Sunday, we all went to the pub. You didn't have to drink, but you went to the pub still. Like, you sit there and have a Coke or orange juice, didn't matter.
Yeah.
But the whole crew actually went there.
Everybody was in together. Like, even we did sort of the same thing, but once they started to crack down on the drinking and bits and pieces there.
Your 2 year behaviour bond.
Yeah.
So we used to have barbecues over at my room, and we'd just put 2 cartons on, and you'd get, our crew plus Longwall would turn up. We'd drink for a couple of hours, and then everyone go home, and then they'd be fresh for but we put a limit on it all. Same thing, we used to organise when we were on night shift, because of the different timings, the different parts of the cruise had. We were able to, on Monday mornings, because of the way that the changeovers was that we could play the other crew in touch. So we'd play, I was on our crew at that particular time, our crew would play T crew. We go and play touch, and whoever's on night shift would be able to have a drink, a few beers.
Yeah.
Because you'd have a few beers straight after, cause you just go straight off shift, head back, go play touch, have a couple of beers, and then go to bed, and you're up for night shift again.
Yeah.
So it was good.
Yeah.
And the other boys just come in, they have a bit of touch, and then they're off to work for the day.
Yeah.
But that was just it was a lot different. Now, this crew that I'm currently on, I find actually the majority are quite good. In the fact that the camaraderie is actually really good in this crew. Well, I feel personally, as opposed to obviously what we hear from the other side from some of the old underground guys. Talk to them and they're finding it difficult with some of the crews that they're on.
Yeah.
Just because of, again, it's the camaraderie is completely different. They feel a little bit alienated and that sort of thing. And with this particular crew, there seems to be quite it's not a big group, but there's a sort of a fairly large sort of part of it that are quite sporty, so they'll organise all sorts of different things, like squash and tennis and touch footy and that sort of thing. So they'll get a few things going.
Yeah.
And they'll invite everyone. If people don't want to show up, well, that's their thing.
That's right.
But they're trying to get more, everyone. And they try to get a sort of a crew environment happening. Yeah. And you'll find with that particular group of people, they're a lot closer probably within the crew than the others.
What I found with this crew, you can ask them and they will tell you. Like, well, no, on the other crew, the boys were having trouble because no one would tell them anything.
Oh, see, and that's the thing, and for those of you who are listening who are already working in the mines, maybe you've been doing it for 30 years yourself, help people out. It doesn't hurt. What if it was your kid? What if it was your kid who started, or or your mum or something? That's what I always say. You'd want people to be helping them, not making their life worse.
I think it's more so, being truckies and a lot of the open cut jobs are all individual jobs. So once you're in your cab, your only interaction with anybody's via radio. And if it's the mine radio, you're not really saying a hell of a lot.
No, I wave all the time and do these ones with my arms when it's rough. And and I'm hanging on the steering wheel, of course.
Yeah, but I mean, again, that's to do with certain people. I mean, it'd be the same as, me and Ando doing what we do, silly hats and just. And me, even me and Shifty. I mean, you guarantee Shifty's going to look as soon as he sees you coming. He's going to look. So the first
I'm just waiting to see what he's doing.
Yeah.
Right, bring it on now.
Yeah.
I'm going to do it.
Oh, you haven't seen it yet?
I haven't been doing it for a little bit now, but I'll be going back to it once.
I'll be waiting.
Yeah. So I'd come up with stupid things to do, to wear.
I'll smack you. Sorry, Shifty's in trouble. He's pulled the ring thing off his can.
So I'd figure out what I could do, what was inside the cab that I could use to wear or put on my head or do something stupid.
Serious?
Oh yeah.
How did I not know this?
We're doing silly thing. I got the paper towel and wrapped myself up like a mummy. And just because Ando and I have been just trying to come up with stupid things, Ando got rags, put it behind his ears and made it look like he was pulling it through his ears. You drive past each other and just see what each other's doing.
Yeah.
Like Shifty, you drive past him, you give him the fingers. Because you know he's going to look.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not going to do that to you.
No, but that's what you should do to Shifty. Yes.
But that's awesome to hear.
But we're only mucking around all the time. That's how we were underground as well.
Yeah.
It
gets you through the day.
Yeah,
We do such long hours and a little bit of have some fucking fun while you're here. We've got to be here anyway, just lighten up a bit. Everyone
and
gets
it's the same.
serious.
It's the same as if you've got UHF, it's handy because you can listen into what your digger drivers and your dozer operators are doing, and it's also handy because they can give you a bit of especially if you're a new person, they can give you a bit of advice on there without everybody listening in.
Yeah, but not all sites.
Not all sites have that, but it's certainly
and some
handy.
do, which is hard to get used to two ways at once when you've never heard of one.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing we weren't used to because we never had two ways underground. Yeah. All of a sudden, hang on, I've got to learn to drive this truck, do all this stuff, and then
listen out,
and then call,
and speak yourself, be on the ball and know what's going on.
Yeah.
Oh, is that me? Yeah.
Because
the big thing
especially
I got was
that was probably
out.
actually was one of the hardest things when you're trying to concentrate on driving. And it's a huge bit of machinery as opposed to what we're used to. And being underground, you can bounce off walls,
and we have,
and you do. And you can make the odd screw up and bounce off the rib and go, oh fuck, and then we got away with that. You can't get away with anything in one of those big things. You can't afford to touch anything.
No.
And just the sheer size of everything as opposed to what's underground it's real steep learning curve because you're trying to concentrate on these huge bits of gear and you've got other huge bits of gear coming at you and then at the same time
you've got this grader coming at you and then there's bloody dozers over here
and then you've got a two-way screaming at you
and
then you've got to try and figure out what's 45 to the bench.
Or does he want me 45 or square?
Yeah.
Or am I coming under the bucket or what the
Yeah.
And then you get some operators that like moving the buckets.
Yeah, that doesn't help anyone, does it?
So
would that be your main difference? Is the sheer size of everything, do you think? And voices in your head of the two-way?
I reckon the size of everything. Them trucks, they take a bit, like, when you first see them, you think, oh yeah, they're big. But you're starting to get used to it, but they're still big.
There's still big bits of gear. The electric trucks like to get around as soon as anything gets wet, gets twitchy.
Yeah. How have you found? Have you done much in the wet yet? You haven't. Yeah. How you find? Does that happen underground, or is it all flat underground?
No, definitely ain't
I
flat.
suppose you can get underground.
No, but
The floor's worse.
it's steep underground. The floor is
Is it?
terrible.
So it's not 10% rats?
Some would be.
No, you
But,
follow. No, you follow.
one.
You follow the seam wherever that goes.
Yeah.
You chase it.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
They will grade
Yeah.
parts, but there's some real steep bits.
Oh.
Well, the drifties aren't supposed to go any more than 4 and 1.
No, I don't really
Yeah.
don't take much notice of it. I suppose,
No.
but
They were just
you just
falling.
know it was
Just
steep, and if you're in a real shit loader, it might take you 2 hours to get out. You know.
Yeah.
So, I'm just thinking about
But-
actually driving in the weather with the like the sun and the lighting plants in your
Well-
eyes, and that can be an issue
Oh,
for a
yeah,
lot of
no,
people
that's-
at night
yeah.
because they're always right there in your eye.
Yeah, but underground it's the same. But there you never point your light on someone.
Yeah, they
Because
Most
that's a
underground
big
people
no-no.
sit there, they sort of don't look as sort of straight. They're sort of off to the side
Off to
of
the
it.
side.
because that's what
Yeah,
Because that's where your light is in its face, and you don't put it in anyone's eyes.
yeah, right.
So,
That'd be
So
good.
you've got that. So night shift is probably a little bit easier for us because we're
more
used
in
to
your
it being
comfort.
dark. But you're not really used to solar power miner.
Solar power mine.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have to bring up I did a whole episode on this, which is what does it take to be a real miner? Thanks to my partner, the real miner, making me comment. You can listen to that by heading to madmumsy.com/beers9. That's the number 9. And we go a bit deeper there. I won't go into all of that again. But it's a real it's a joke, but it's serious as well. Undergrounders think they're real miners, and I'm kind of leaning towards that after hearing from my partner, and now hearing even more from you guys. And where he calls us gravel scratchers, but can you tell the listeners what you call us?
Landscape gardens.
Landscape bloody gardeners. I haven't heard that one.
Well,
What?
but-
Come on,
but you-
what?
okay.
Bring it on, bring it
Yeah.
on.
Well, when I was talking to a lot of the boys when I first come over, like they knew the underground was shutting, and a lot of the boys out there would have liked to have gone down and had a look because they're probably not going to get to go to an underground mine and have a look. Like on their days off, they could have come out because we took a fair few people
Yeah.
down to show them because might never go underground again. Have a
I'd
look.
like to go under and go, yeah,
That's
right, that's it.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
get me out
Like
quick.
my wife said, no way in the world. She ain't coming underground.
Yeah, right. No.
Well, yeah, don't mind me doing it, but
Yeah.
No, the reason I term them as landscape gardens is you move dirt from one place to another and then you cover it up and you plant trees.
Rehab.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you
I never thought about it.
well, that's what you do.
that's what you're doing, you're landscaping.
We
I
normally
think I
only
prefer-
cut coal, and that's it.
Yeah.
We take that out. We don't waste the time getting the dirt. It's all the coal.
We're on coal the whole time.
Yeah. Because you just
The only time you're not on coal is when you hit a fault, then you're smashing stone, and then that's not fun.
Yeah.
But to get down to the coal, you have to move some dirt.
No, that's your job.
Like,
We normally go in after you.
You make a high wall, and we chomp straight in.
punch
and we go in.
the hole.
But we can go from the top straight down.
Yeah.
Some mines are like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, that's what I
we
mean.
won't.
Oh, but you weren't.
We're a punch line straight in.
Oh. Did you have a little archway
Yeah.
portal?
Yeah, portals, yeah.
The mine I started in New South Wales had that, and I used to look in there and go, oh, there's yowies in there. It's scary.
Gove monsters.
Yeah.
They eat everything.
What do you call them?
Goph monsters.
Goph.
Goph, yeah.
Yeah.
They eat everything. Everything gets thrown in the goph.
Yeah.
What's that? Oh, I don't get it.
The goves are back once we take the coal out and all the chocks move forward.
The roof falls in
The
behind.
roof falls in behind it,
Yep.
but sometimes the roof stays up. So we've had it so it's been like 100 metres back, and then you're looking in there and you think, but you can't go in there.
Is it a no-go zone?
No,
Oh, hell
definite no-go zone. And then the next minute, when it does fall, you'll be standing there. You won't be able to see a thing. Your
Pressure
helmet
wave
is
will knock
blown
you.
away, bloody everything. Like the wind blast that comes through. It's just unbelievable.
Because it's finally done what it's
It's
supposed
finally
to do.
done what it's supposed to do.
That's what it's supposed to do.
It's supposed to
gotta
fall as you go. You need it to fall.
Otherwise, it puts too much pressure on the front.
Everything gets thrown in the gaff. So you'll find if somebody's got
So you
if somebody's got the shits on for that particular day, and if they feel like it, they'll throw everything in there.
Yeah.
And I literally mean everything. There'll be the amount of shit that gets thrown in there.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
That's where they waste a lot of money, because somebody doesn't want to be digging. All the shovels go in the gaff.
Can't dig, no shovels.
Can't go get them. Once they're in
Can't
there,
know
they stay
where they
there.
are.
Yeah.
Well, no, you can see them. You just can't go get them.
Oh, because they're in no-go zone.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Ah.
That's what I mean.
So-
If someone's got the shits on, that's where everything goes.
Speaking of getting the shits on, is there toilets down there?
No.
No.
Right. So I've heard a couple of varying degrees of stories. So what do you do?
If you ever see a rag on the ground, pick it up and wipe your hands. You'll be right.
Well, you just do it anyway.
No.
Yeah, the wash plant get it all.
On the belt.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Everything
right.
goes on the belt.
Or it goes in the cove.
Yeah.
Go down
So
the
you don't
tailgate.
stand
bend
up
over
and
between-
do it on the actual belt?
Bend over.
Oh, people
No,
do.
some
Some people do.
Or do you do it in something and then tip it on the
Yeah,
belt?
generally. But there's the odd people
Throw
that
a rag on the ground
Climb-
and do
climb
a
up.
rag and
Yeah.
throw it on them.
And throw that up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, well, it's a
Hang over
it's
the
a
bird
thing.
end.
Like,
Oh, yeah. I've seen everything.
there's walkways that go across the belts,
yeah.
so you can get from
Oh,
one place to the other.
So you can hang over.
some people hang over the edge.
You're right.
Or you go down the tailgate, like between the chocks, and then we move forward. Hopefully we don't stop.
Yeah.
But it's all dependent. I mean, depending on your time frame, whether you can manage to get out, and whether they've got a vehicle available.
Yeah.
Potentially
so
you
you have
can
to
get
go
out.
out if you need.
Yeah. They can't, they won't stop you.
Yeah.
But a lot of people.
Just
By the time you go, and it'll take you half an hour to drive
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, too
So
late.
hang on.
Yeah.
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 If
Send
it's
it
a
to
half an hour, an hour to get out there, it's not happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. Send it to the wash plant.
Oh, I've always wondered that. So what about the girls? They just have to do the same sort of thing.
They
Yeah.
hold.
Get a
Some
good bladder like me. That's what.
some used to get you. You go around the corner and
Yeah, then you might be
give us
standing
the towel.
sentry.
Yeah.
But
Oh, can you
Yeah.
stand watch for
Yeah,
me?
yeah, just make sure no one walks around on them.
Yeah. No drama.
Yeah, I suppose it's dark too. That.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
that's it.
A bit
Eh?
dodgy out at work for us sometimes. And look up and go, oh, this truck's going past there. That's not going to. Oh, this bloody truck saw us a water cart the other day, and I'm like,
Yeah, well, that's
to
the
go
we.
now.
Oh, we're the same. We get there. Oh, hang on, which truck's laying in there?
Yeah,
It is.
I've heard that.
Yeah, like you pull up and
I remember years ago there was a big thing because people just peeing on the machines,
Yeah.
like inside the wheel tyres,
Yeah.
inside the wheels, pos one.
Yeah.
Before you climb up the stairs, I'm like, why didn't you go in the crib up before we left, you lazy bugger? Nearly every bloke does it. Or
There's bad
you go
leaks on
out,
that
Yeah,
side,
but-
or you
so-
go out behind the cab and do it out there.
Yeah.
But the fitters put in a big, massive complaint, and it was nearly a sackable offence at one
Yeah.
time because you can imagine all the peas going down and they've got to clean up, and you're a fitter shit.
Yeah.
Hey?
Well, I'm not a diesel fitter.
Oh, so that's all right. then.
No, I'm a machine
You're a meat
fitter and turner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What, you're a cook?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
That's
So
leaving pot and turning the shit.
now that you've done and currently doing the gravel scratching, landscape
Landscape
gardening
gardening.
side of things, and the underground, do you think we're all real miners, or do you think
No, I
Only
tell everyone I give
underground.
up mining.
you've given up? You're semi-retired.
I've given up mining.
Just drive trucks
True.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't think you're mining at all?
I don't.
Not after being underground.
No.
Wow.
I really don't think I'm a miner. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've given it up.
More like you work for the council.
I just drive a truck around. Like, I mean, how many loads of coal would I've taken out compared to dirt that I've shifted? I just can't see how it's physically, like, or financially when we were cutting it, we cut coal and that's it, it's gone. And yet you got to shift all this dirt to get this little bit of coal.
That we were on the whole time.
And
we were in the good stuff the whole time.
Yeah. So why did they shut the underground then? If you were so damn good, you real miners. When you walked out of there, were you the last people to walk out of there, or you nearly?
My crew was the last ones. We were on night shift. We were supposed to be going out to night shift. We were all in the mess, and they rang us up while we were in the mess, and they said, "Get on the piss. Don't bother coming in."
Yeah, so it was a good night because I ended up coming out the day earlier to start my shift in the morning. Like I didn't want to travel in the morning, so I came out that night to start in the morning.
Yeah.
And all the boys, all the boys said, "Oh, waste time going to work." We're all going to the pub. That's the end of us.
And we let loose. It was a big night, that one.
Oh, fair.
And that was just a preempt for the rest of the week.
So you didn't actually get to go back in, and I know a few people have rituals when they say goodbye to diggers and stuff. You didn't get.
They won't.
You didn't get closure.
No, they wouldn't.
You got closure at the pub with your crew.
Yeah. I didn't even go back out to get my gear out of my locker.
Could you have if you?
Yeah, they said that we could, and then.
But yeah, you were restricted on timing.
Anything that was in my locker, like it was black, it was covered in coal.
Oh right, yeah.
So I don't really want it anyway. I mean, it's only my belt and helmet and my boots and everything.
Yeah.
I just took my tools, my helmet.
Yeah.
No, pretty much it.
Yeah, like I took all my tools home the week before because we knew it was getting close. So I had them. Just had them in my car. Took them down when we were using them.
Yeah.
That was easier.
Because we've been going for a while and it's been really good to dig in and get underground. But a couple of other questions that I like to find out from people. Let's talk about rosters. What's your favourite roster,
7 and 7.
7 and 7?
Yep.
What roster did you do underground? And hours?
7 and 7.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, it worked out good.
What were the hours?
11-hour days.
11.
Four 11 hours and 3 12s.
Yeah, right.
Friday, Saturday and Sunday were 12s.
Yep.
They were just a couple of day shift. But yeah. When I first started out here, I was on 4 and 4 with the contract mob.
Yep.
Then they put me over, when I went over and got my shirt, I went 5 and 2 for a few weeks.
Oh, real job. It's like a real job, though.
And then straight on 7 and 7.
Yeah.
So,
it's the only way to go, 7 and 7.
Well, I started as a clean skin and we were on 4 and 3, we were on day shift.
Yeah.
That's shit.
Yeah. 4 and 3.
So like you're Monday to Thursday and then you get Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, but
right.
It's still, that's shit. And then I got on crew and then I was 7 and 7 and that was pretty good.
Yeah.
But like our hours, because you had your 11s, depending on what crew you're with, and like further on down the track when they changed the hours around so that because they cut right back on day shift and all the rest of it. So like when we were on out by, you were working from like 6 to 5 or 6 to 6.
Yeah.
And that's good. Those are great times because you're home early enough that you still get a little bit of time.
Yeah.
And whereas now, you're not back. You might start at 6 and you leave here
5:45
in the morning and you're not back until like 7:15 at night. That you've
long
got
days.
It's a very long day and you don't really have the time. And that extra half an hour or hour in our case was brilliant because you still got time to come back and you could do a bit of fitness and all the rest of it. Go still have tea and still have 5 minutes to do whatever you wanted to do.
Call the family, whatever.
You just had that little bit of extra time. It was good.
Yeah. All right. So what about fatigue? How do you handle night shift? Do you sleep all right on night shift, Shifty? Night shift?
I've never slept good out here.
Not
Yeah.
even on day shift?
Nah.
No? Why? Because you're not at home?
Yeah, because I'm not at home. It's just weird.
Oh.
Yeah, I was always hopeless. Like 4 hours sleep and that was it.
Oh,
Then I'm
true.
wide awake again.
Still now?
Yeah.
Yeah. But obviously you can hack it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, I've been
like
doing it for
you used
11
to.
years.
Yeah.
Doing it for 11 years now.
Yeah,
But
right.
when I got home, it's totally different.
You catch up.
Oh, I catch up alright.
Yeah.
Crash.
Yeah, right.
But yeah.
What about you, Sean?
I actually sleep better on night shift.
Better or night shift?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't, even with my sort of home life, I don't get a hell of a lot of sleep anyway, so yeah, it doesn't, I've sort of, and then my previous jobs was
Sleep when you can.
No roster there.
sleep where you can.
Standing up behind a tree and you can
Yeah, well, I mean, even when you're asleep there, you were getting mortared and things like that, so
yeah.
you were never really asleep, sort of thing, I suppose, in a way. Yeah, it's a different. I tend to find I tend to sleep better on that night shift. I'm usually buggered on the last one,
Yeah.
and it can take me a couple of days to recover, but because I'm pretty much burning myself out, I suppose, towards the end. But then I'm fly out as well, so sort of that last one, you just, all you want to do is get home. So and then you when you get home, you got kids and things like that, and you're trying to fit back into the routine. So
Yeah. You feel like you're so hungover, I reckon.
Yeah.
That first day
Yeah.
feels like you've just been to the biggest New Year's Eve party you've ever had.
Yeah.
And some more than others. Some days, sometimes you can be like, I'm alright. And others will be
Yeah.
like, oh,
You're right. Yeah.
no. Just wait, tell me when it's tomorrow, that next day.
But and a lot of that, like even my previous job, I mean, we could spend up to 22 hours on the road, and it's all. And again, you're sitting in an armoured vehicle and things like that, but you're mentally stuffed, which is sort of what you get here, because you're in a vehicle, you're driving around, and with the amount of vehicle interaction and everything going on, you're not physically buggered, you're just mentally.
Yeah.
It just takes a while for you to unwind the old brain.
Sometimes I know over the years I've not gone up for tea because I don't want to sit there and listen to all these people I've been listening to all day. I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk. I don't want to move dirt. I'm going home for a beer.
Well, we used to have a thing where no one to talk work. If you started talking
We
work,
had that. You've got
You
a
get slapped
skull.
down.
no, you wore a dust mask.
Oh,
And everyone's looking at him, well, you've got a dust mask on. Yeah, shut him up from talking.
oh right. Yeah. When you're outside work,
Yeah.
having beers.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have to consciously think like, so what are you doing next break? Instead of, did you see what the kid did or whatever? You know, it's
But
really hard. Gossip can get really bad.
but you find some of the people that don't really know how to talk to other people other than talk about work. Because
That's right. That's all they bonded
because
over.
that's all they're bonded to, and because they don't have a lot of, unlike the underground guys who are, like I said, in each other's pockets. So you know the guy inside out.
Yeah.
You know he's basically half the time he's down there, he's working together side by side. You're talking about family and stuff like that. Last thing you want to be talking about fucking changing roles on a belt or something like that.
Yeah.
So you're talking shit about what you did when you're at home, what the kids are up to, who went fishing and what were you catching and all that sort of shit.
Yeah.
Whereas with these guys, because they don't spend all day talking to each other about other things, they only talk to each other on the radio about work. They come out and all they can do is talk work because they can't actually interact with each other.
And then they're on the phones a lot anyway,
Yeah.
Well, everyone's on the phone going to work.
on the bus.
Yeah.
Anyway,
They're either playing games or on
Yeah.
Facebook.
yeah. I don't take my phone.
I don't. I leave mine in my room.
It's
I do.
I do so much digital stuff. If it rains, I do. I does take my phone if it's raining.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
No,
but
well,
I like to
watch all the movies.
have that interaction with people. It makes you talk.
It's like the kids at a
If
party
there's
at home.
no phones,
And
you
to
have
look
to
around,
talk.
and they're all sitting there playing with their phones. What was it, a phone party? Like,
Yeah.
hmm.
One I was at,
just-
no phones. There were no phone. That was it. And but they had a phone in the crew huts, which was a good thing because you could ring anywhere in the world. It was a union thing. They got it in. If you're taking the mobile phones off us, we want to be able to ring our missus and that at crib.
Yeah.
So you could ring any time. But also, dispatch could ring the crib hut. Or anyone could ring the crib hut. Shit. But also, tell old mate he's already had his half an hour, go and get on that truck and like, is he there? No, I can't see him,
Well, see, underground,
But
we
you had
could
to
bring
talk.
the control room, and then they could patch us through to your wife if you give them a phone number to ring, and they could patch it through that way.
And it could come back the other way because you used to get it
'Cause they could ring
because
you.
the guys on the opposite side, the dark side, they'd ring up when they're on the, they might be watching Origin or something like that. They're pissed off their trees, and they're ringing up. They know you're on night shift and you're down the hole.
But they could ring straight to us.
They ring straight to us, and
true.
they'd be smashed, and then they just, yeah.
And then did you used to do it to them?
Not all.
Not as often.
Not as often as they did, of course not. Little angels you are. I like to send people, mainly Baz, my stepdad, and he'll send me a picture. Him and Mum are out for lunch, eating prawns and beer, and I'm on day shift. Over the years, not so much now, but I'm like, oh, right. So I do it if he's at work. Yeah. I think we covered advice for newbies before. What about your old PPE, your hard hats and all that? What do you do with it? Do you plant petunias in it?
Mine's still out there.
What about all your work clothes, all your work issue?
My work clothes are the same ones that we got here. All the last ones. That's still the underground ones that I'm wearing.
Oh,
You
right.
would never know. They're exactly the same. Same writing on it, everything.
Yeah, I've got.
So, but did you get a
Oh, no,
set
I've got different.
every year?
Yeah, we got.
So where are they all? What did you do with them all?
I got heaps of them.
Yeah, what did you go
Yeah,
fishing?
here at home. Yeah.
garden?
Well, fishing shirts, yeah.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I got heaps.
Because I got different sorts as well, different job. Like I got the action back overalls, so they're slightly different. You can't wear them out here now.
Are they bright orange?
No, they're yellow and blue.
I've seen the orange
Yeah.
overalls.
Well, it was only the last couple of years that they started bringing that in.
Yeah.
We were allowed to wear the blue
Oh,
because it made no difference.
yeah.
'Cause you can't see them.
You can't see underground anyway. You only
But
see the reflectors.
like half the time underground we were wearing board shorts.
No.
Seriously,
yeah, footy shorts.
footy shorts, board shorts.
Yeah, as long as you had reflectors.
As long as you had reflectors,
Yeah,
you're good.
Is that because it's just so freaking hot?
yeah.
Yeah, and like wearing board, like you go from wearing those cotton drill to boardies. Boardies dry heaps faster.
And
So
keep
if
it
you're
wet.
continually wet,
Yeah.
the last thing you want to be doing, and you're covered in coal and shit, is all the stuff rubs.
Yeah, right.
And you got cotton drill takes a while to dry,
Yeah.
and you just rub all the skin off yourself.
Yeah.
Well, I used to wear the long, mainly so you didn't take so long in the shower when you got up. But once you were wet, that just transferred through, and you got black through it.
Yeah,
So
or you didn't matter.
So you had black legs to match
Yeah.
your
Yeah,
eyeliner.
everything was
Yeah.
black.
So you don't miss that part of it?
What being
You're
filthy?
dirty and wet,
well,
black and...
nah. Well,
I hate it when
it's
they get a
really-
bit of grease on me.
Well, I used to be like
check
that.
the oil today.
I used to be like that when I was at the mill. Like, oh, you stay clean, and then you get out here and there's nothing you can do. You are black. You just lay down on the floor, like we'll sit up against a rib and eat your crib.
Yeah.
It was just a thing. Like you're not going to
Just
get any
how-
dirtier.
part of the
You
job.
already are covered in it.
But what you're doing now, you don't get dirty.
No,
But it doesn't mean you're any less of a miner.
Oh,
Yes, it does. All right. You don't have to answer this, and this is a new question that I'm going to start asking people, is what would you like to say to, and I don't even know how to word it yet, environmentalists, greenies, about us working in the coal? How do you deal with that? Oh, I'm a bloody old hippie, and I deal with the contradiction of it a lot.
one of the deputies had a sticker on the back of his ute.
Yeah.
Ban mining. And let the bastards freeze in the dark.
Yeah, right, yeah.
Yeah, like when you first see it, it's got ban mining. You think, what? And then
Yeah.
when you read the fine underneath.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Sean is just showing me a picture of him, black, dirty. Oh, you look nothing like that now. You look like a landscape gardener now. Look chilled out.
See, like, it's coming out of the tailgate, so like the only thing that you see that's clean is with the dust mask was over my face.
Yeah.
That's fairly reasonable, that one.
Yeah, that was really
Like,
reasonable.
That's
You're
not
not
black,
listening.
black, that's...
You've been blacker.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
I'm trying to say. Yeah.
But it's just... See, look, normal.
Wow.
That's a normal day.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen them. Well, here.
Well,
And
actually,
the other mines.
one thing I like now, but I'm not carrying that rescue around and the battery. You got that one on each hip.
Yeah.
All
And one's heavier than the other, so you can
Yeah.
either try and even yourself out, or you...
Yeah, most of that.
Walk with a limp.
Did you have a bruise on one hip? The real miner always has a bruise on one hip.
Yeah, it depends what you
But
do.
I think he has tools and...
So he was a fitter too.
He's a fitter, and they carry a lot of shit.
Yeah, I used to carry 15 kilos worth of stuff around on me all the time.
Yeah, right.
And banging in.
Yeah, as well as a self-rescuer. Yeah.
See? Fitter, operators.
Gee, the fitter looks clean, shifty.
Yeah, you can see it's not
Sean
me.
showing me pictures.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
And that's just normal, everyday work down there. You're on a machine, you're just black.
Yeah, that's the biggest.
But for your question, no. That's still the cheapest way, isn't it? The coal. I mean, all those wind farms they got there in South Australia when the wind's not blowing, they're buying coal.
And what do they make them out of?
Steel.
Yeah.
And how do they make steel?
Yeah, they've got a...
Need coke, so... It's a catch-22.
It is.
The only way, I mean, it doesn't matter what you do, you're going to need steel.
Yeah.
At the minute.
For now, that's right, and it's not to say it's forever.
No.
And they're always coming up with new things, and we all want the world to be a nice place for our kids and everything. But at the moment, it's how
Well,
it is.
you've
It's
got to
what we're
get
doing.
something in place to replace it.
Yeah.
Now, you can work on as many conspiracy theories as you like to what's holding everything back. You might not be wrong, but,
I'm going to get a greenie on, I think, and interview them.
That'd be interesting.
That's why I'm starting to get a few opinions from people that are working in the mines. Like I don't know if you've seen them on Facebook. There's a few really cool infographics. It's about, I think there's one that's a mobile phone. And it says, it's not just coal mining, but it's all the resources that are needed to make that.
Yeah.
And cars and wind farms and this and that. And it's, it makes the world go round. And I think a big part of it is trying to make it cleaner. So, speaking of that, what about the black lung disease thing? Have you guys been tested for that, or because you've worked underground for so long?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah, we had all x-rays before we all left there.
But are they in a box somewhere, not tested, or?
No, they're all tested.
They were supposed to be tested.
They were all tested.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, they were tested because they went through and there was a couple of guys that got pulled out.
Yep.
For further investigation. Yeah,
And at different levels.
But we're not-
The black lung is, when they go through the testing process, it's 4 levels or something like that, I think.
Yeah, okay.
And like some of the guys were on like minor, hit one of the, the early levels, which is you may possibly have a problem.
When it first came out, down the mess and all the gravel scratches down there are all sitting there saying, oh, use underground like with this black lung. But they didn't realise that open cut people in America are getting black lung while it's going out of fashion.
Well, they are here too.
And now you have a look out there, and when they dump that coal in the back of the truck, it's just a cloud of dust. And it's going everywhere.
And you look at some of the dozer drivers who are down there cleaning off top coal. They look like, a couple of them, I think, my God, you look like you're underground.
Mm.
And there have been some open cut people that have been diagnosed. So all we can do is look after ourselves.
Yeah.
If the seals on your machine are buggered, report them, get them fixed and stuff.
Yeah, but that's whether they do that too.
But that's where we have to stand up for ourselves.
Yeah.
But it's a long-term thing as well, isn't it?
Once you get it, you got it. That's it.
Yeah, but is it something like not a one-off where the coal come in your truck, you're going to have it? Or is it...
It all depends on whether you get that. It's whether you breathe in that little bit of silica.
It's fine.
And if you get that
how your body reacts.
Yeah. It's like your body, like we always had the dust testing. And you'd go down there and they'd go, all right, are you within certain levels? So how much of those certain levels are you getting?
Yeah.
Over how long a period of time? And they're saying, right, well, you're wearing this. This PPE, well, this PPE has a 99% chance of stopping it. Well, you still got 1%. Well, they say it's 99.4 or something stupid like that. There's still a percentage, regardless whether you're wearing PPE or not, that it fails.
Yeah.
There is no guarantee. And, and for some cases you won't know. No. It's like, like your asbestos. You're not going to know that until like 20 years down the track.
Yeah.
They had a mob come in to test us, putting the old masks on, and then they were going to do tests on it to see how much leakage and everything was going past it and that. And like some people, their face was just not suited to certain dust masks, and they were leaking like there wasn't a lot about them on.
Oh, and what did they say about that?
Well, then they had to get different masks and everything.
Yeah.
And then you've got like some masks are designed for certain things and not for others, and so you got all sorts of issues that come along with it. Because we got all the diesel particulates as well. So when you're in a loader underground, and a lot of the time you're having to go drive backwards everywhere. So all that diesel, you're driving through it the whole time. The whole time you're sucking in shitloads of diesel fumes.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
So you got diesel particulates all the time.
Yeah.
So, but that requires a different mask to the one that we wear while we were, going a lot of the dust stuff. And you don't want to be wearing the diesel particulate mask when you're in.
Yeah, it's sort of weird. Once you're underground, everything down there is trying to get you. Like the electricity, it's real high voltage. All the pressures in all those chocks and everything is extra high pressure. It's higher than anything that's up here. And then you got all the dust and diesel and the roof's trying to fall in. The gas has got you. Like,
so why do it?
It's fun.
you don't sort of think about it at the time like that.
Well,
good money.
It's like
no, we were on less than what you were.
No.
Seriously.
We were.
Yeah. What?
No, it's like you go to...
Less hours?
If you go to some of our other mines and they're on a much, much higher money.
Yeah, our base rate was a lot lower than what yours were. We had to work on bonuses.
Which you got?
Which we...
Not
me, we didn't.
No. Well, you wouldn't because you were slow.
Back in the, when we were going for it, we were making big bonuses.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But yeah,
we were cutting big tons and going flat out. You were working. You went
when they wanted it, they let you go, and when they didn't want it, they pulled you up with things.
Push the switch.
They pushing the buttons. Just going, no, we're down for maintenance.
Yeah.
We're pulling you up.
Yeah.
Because we had to get 80,000 tonne before you even got $1
You got
dollar or anything.
No, you didn't get anything like that.
Well, no, you had to get over that.
You had, what is it? For every tonne after that, you got like 0.00003 of a cent.
Yeah,
for every tonne over.
You had to push it out.
Right, yeah.
But
it would add up.
When you're putting out 250,000 tonne or something for the
Yeah.
week, that's
That adds up.
Then it starts to add up.
Yeah.
And then in development, once you got past a certain amount of metres, then you're getting sort of like $1 a metre.
Yeah.
So when you went hard at it, you could get it. You had to get like over 400 metres for the week.
So what is the pay rate now that you're getting? Is it less or more than what you were on at the end? Because you do more hours.
We do more hours. We're getting more. Our base rate's higher. We are getting more money.
Yeah.
But you don't get your bonus. Or you get a yearly one maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's hard to answer.
Yeah, it's hard to, I'm not answering on here.
We're actually on more money.
Yeah.
More money being open cut.
And cruisy a lot. You don't even feel like you're mining. You're working for the council.
Yep.
Yeah.
Really? Do you feel that strongly that it's not mining?
Yep.
Yeah.
You do. Shifty does. He's adamant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's not mining. It's not what
You just
I
move
call
on.
mining.
Yeah. And that's fair enough.
Yeah.
That's like, I just hearing what you've described is, I can understand why you would come to that conclusion. But are you enjoying what you're doing now?
It took me a fair while. I'm starting to really enjoy it now.
Yep.
But yeah, I was ready to throw it in.
No, really.
Yeah, like for the first 3 months, that was it. I was going to throw it in and go. But yeah, now I've sort of got it half sussed out.
Yeah. Persevered and
Yeah.
got through the heart. Yeah. That's
It's-
good, Shifty.
Yeah, it's like anything. You like switch to a new job. It takes a wee while to get your routine. Once you got it, and like I said, with this particular crew is quite good to work with.
Yeah.
So they sort of they add to it, which sort of makes it a lot more enjoyable for you to be there.
Yeah.
It does. Yeah.
As long as the atmosphere's there, and it, like if you're like one of the other particular crews have a bit of a septic atmosphere, you wouldn't want to come to work. You wouldn't want to be here.
Yeah. It'd be hard to actually get to
It'd be hard to get to this point that we're at now.
Yeah.
Whereas because you're actually enjoying the company of the other people, albeit it's not the same, but it's better than nothing.
I'm glad that we're better than nothing.
Oh, that's a bit hard.
You know what I mean?
No, I do know what you mean. Oh. Well, what do you reckon? Might wrap it up?
Yeah, sounds good.
Thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. And did I tell you that tomorrow is my last day?
Oh, rub it in.
Because I got the last two off.
Rub it in.
Yo. Thanks, guys.
Yep.
No, thank you.
That wasn't too hard, was it, Shifty?
No, it was pretty good.
What, you want to hear it now?
No.
No, he wants you to turn it off.
Turn it off
Turn
now.
it off. All right. Okay. On that note, thanks, guys. I really do appreciate it. It's been good, and I know that my podcast listeners will get a lot out of that because you're the first undergrounders that I've had on. Thanks so much for listening. I know this was a long episode, but I think we had a lot of ground to cover. That's the beauty of podcasts. You can go as long as it needs to be, and you can hit pause and come back to it when you're ready. I want to thank the guys for opening up and sharing their thoughts and experiences, both as underground miners and now open cut operators. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And on a side note, the real miner was listening in during the editing process and was agreeing wholeheartedly most of the time. Maybe he is a real miner after all, but don't tell him I said that. All the links we discussed in this episode can be found at madmumsy.com/beers32. That's Mad Mumsy with a Z or a Z, depending where you're from, and the number 32. If you don't want to miss any episodes, be sure to head over to iTunes or your favourite podcast app and subscribe. Or you can do it right from the website at madmumsy.com/beers. Thank you so much for listening, and please share with your mates. Until next week, stay safe, be real, be special, and have fun. For we only live once. Cheers.